All right, and we're live. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Multiverse Show, episode 90. We're on 90 episodes of this crap. How have we lasted this long? Just
without being cancelled, you mean?
Yeah, without being canceled. That's the real point. That's the real question. So
I got through 4 of my show.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Multiverse Show episode 90. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna get things started. We're kicking on up through here. We got the whole crew together except for Fame, and he might even pop in late. We don't know. Actually, no. He said he was gonna be here. He said he wasn't gonna be here. I forgot about that. He told us yesterday. Anyway, so we're going to hit things started here, but real quick before we go into our topics for the evening, we have to do our intros. And since Fame isn't here to complain to me about not doing him first, we're going to start with the Caesar of cinema, Mr. James Wilson. How you doing, sir?
I am doing very well, thank you, Anchor. And I am James Sterling Wilson. You can come and get me on Twitter at James_S Wilson, where I am officially the biggest Ready Player One fan in the UK, it seems. And I will happily wear that as a badge of honor.
All right. And we also have the Chief of Achievements, the one true King of the North, Undead 3XVI, a.k.a. Nick.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be back on the podcast again on a Monday. Pardon me while I try to wake up. Hope everyone's having a good Monday so far.
All right. And we have Butcher Blavka, the White Wolf, Samuel Tolbert.
Hey, everybody. Hope you've all had a great week. We're back again with another great episode of the Multiverse Show. So kick back, relax, sip on something alcoholic. Let's get started. And
we have the Donna Deletion, your Italian companion, the one, the infamous Mike P. The Truth.
All right, guys and girls, thank you for joining us for another wonderful episode of the Multiverse Show. As always, we have a great docket of topics planned for you guys tonight, so let's get it started. Yeah, buddy.
All right, and I'm your host, Anchorman V2, and let's get rolling into some of this stuff. But real quick, I got to say, I have been real proud of Fame coming up, playing this PUBG with us last night. We were doing okay. Fame actually got some kills on his first few matches. Undead and I played with him last night, and it was doing pretty good. It was pretty good for a start.
Oh, man, he was so into it, too. Man, that was great.
He was crying about, like, is it normal that my heart's racing this much? He's just like, we're not even doing anything.
It was like 73 people left alive. You guys nervous? My heart's beating so fast right now. I'm like, yeah, this is the real VR experience. That's why.
The first match we were in, he was like, we were in like the top 80 or something like that, and he's just like, man, I'm just so freaked out right now. I'm just so paranoid. It's like, calm down. It's gonna be okay. Oh man, that was so much fun. I had a blast playing with him. So. I kind of want to go around the panel here and see what you guys have been up to lately. What are your thoughts on some of the more recent releases coming out? Well, James, okay, I don't think did you pick up Far Cry or anything like that, or are you still you're still working on your play?
The musical's done.
The musical's done?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week. That's all done.
All right, man. How'd it go?
Thank you very much. It went really, really well. It was full every night, which was outstanding for me as a first-time director. I feel honored that I'm able to say that. In terms of games and stuff, I haven't officially owned it, but I do have a copy of Ni no Kuni 2. I didn't steal it. Don't worry. Someone gave it to me to play for like 15 hours, and I'm having a ball. I'm a big fan of JRPGs, and Ni no Kuni 2, it takes elements from all the ones I like and puts them all into a really cute package. Like, when the things that help you fight are called higgledy-piggledies, it's just, adorable. And you play a cat boy called Evan Pettywhisker. Aw.
Oh, that's a name right there. Evan Pettywhisker.
And you've got to defeat the King Mousinger, who's a rat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's really, really good. And it's one of those, I've played about 15 hours, as I said, and I know that I've got at least 20 more hours to do before I really understand all the things I can do in the game. It's one of those. Not in a bad way, because I'm excited to see what other game mechanics that they're going to throw at me, because they've all been brilliant so far. It's like I've just got to the Age of Empires section of the game, which is crazy. So yeah, Ni no Kuni 2. If you're not into first-person Far Cry games, it's a great alternative.
Yeah. And speaking of alternatives to Far Cry, how you feeling about not playing Far Cry, Sam?
It hurts. It really hurts, actually, because every single day I've got someone from Digital Foundry in my feed saying, the more we analyze this really is the best implementation of visual effects on the Xbox One X ever. I'm like, ooh, I don't like you right now. Me and my wallet really don't like you. But hopefully that won't be the case much longer. I should be able to get it really, really soon, and I'm seriously looking forward to that.
All right, and so speaking of Far Cry, we have our guy who's still currently reviewing the game, Nick. So, give us a little preview of that review coming out.
Well, the best part of it is it's Far Cry. There's drugs, and you can fist punch bisons with your bare hands. I don't know what else I can tell you about that other than that. No, it's a really good game so far. It's actually really strange. It's one of the few open world games where I actually want to get to the next story bit faster. I haven't had that since Mafia 3, to be brutally honest. Like, I'm not saying the storyline's on the same level as Mafia 3's was, because that storyline was fantastic. But the story's really, really good. The variety in gameplay is great. The fishing was weirdly fun. I don't know why, but I spent an hour fishing in a video game yesterday.
I'm proud of you.
That fishing, though, really, that fishing is pretty damn good.
Yeah, it's better than Euro fishing games, and like those games are made for fishing. So like, try to figure that out.
Is it better than the Final Fantasy fishing simulator?
Oh my god, why?
Sorry, VR fishing simulator.
But yeah, it's really cool. There's a couple of downsides to it, but they're not really major. I find the weapon varieties a little lackluster. Ubisoft trying to be sneaky with we'll make some of the guns really, really expensive, but here's some microtransaction DLC that's really, really affordable if you want those weapons. But hey, you just hunt a couple of animals, you can get most of the weapons pretty easily. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it's not a bad game so far. I'm enjoying it for what it is.
A friend of mine who's playing it at the moment says that if you have Cheeseburger the bear and Peaches the lion and just send them in, the game is broken. They're just too powerful.
Yeah, well, I don't know about Cheeseburger yet because I don't have Cheeseburger yet, much to my disappointment. But yeah, Peaches is broken in herself. So
yeah, Peaches is totally OP.
I was using the dog originally. The dog was broken in the fact that you can get within like, I think it's like 300 meters of a settlement and it insta-tags everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think being able to have a side character with you as well as drop in and out co-op is pretty damn nifty, I will say.
Oh no, this person didn't say it like in a bad way. It said it's just really quite fun. But they did say that like they call them in late so they can get some kills in before the bear and the lion kill everyone.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, it's a bear and a lion. Of course, they're going to do a lot of the killing.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm playing Far Cry as well, and I really enjoy the game, but it's I'm coming from the position I played the other two Far Cry games. I played Primal and I played Far Cry 4, and I didn't like Far Cry 4. And I felt like it was just this. It was more of the same. Like they changed nothing, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'll give you some helicopters though, so it's not entirely a waste." But like this one, it feels different enough. It feels more streamlined, honestly. Like it feels like they just decided, hey, we're gonna streamline the experience here, so more people can get involved. But that's kind of it. But I will say I am really digging how each of the villains actually feels a little more fleshed out than others. Like in Far Cry 3, you had Voss, and Voss was like clearly the standout guy. But then you had the other guy nobody remembers.
Who is the actual main villain?
Yeah, who was actually the main villain. Nobody remembers who he is, but he's in there. And then the other one, he had Pagan Min, which I felt was a waste. I just felt like it was completely pointless to have Pagan Min at all. I felt Far Cry 4 was largely pointless.
Pagan Min was in the game?
Yeah. He was there at the beginning, and then he just kind of, it was over. Like that was the only problem. Like he was there at the beginning and then there at the end. That he didn't stay around.
See,
really.
I'm kind of feeling that vibe with 5 though, because like I don't know how far you are in. Like I can go without spoilers. I'm dealing with sibling 2 of 3 and almost done with sibling 2 of 3. And like the main villain, I think I've had a total of maybe 10 minutes of interaction with, and I'm probably about 20 hours into the game now.
Yeah.
Like I don't know is like when you after you finish doing the map and taking care of like his 3 siblings, I don't know how long that next section of the game is going to be. But I feel up to this point he's been underutilized, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, I don't have an issue with that so much, but like in Pagan Min, he was the only guy. He was the only villain in Far Cry 4. Like there was nobody else. But this one, it's like, okay, yeah, there's less of Joseph running around, less of the father. But they supplement it with interesting side bosses.
Yeah, and that's the best part is like each side boss is like unique in their like characteristics and character and their thought pattern and everything else. Like I started with the younger brother, and I'm dealing with the sister, and there's like a whole it's like a whole different style of how you have to go about things, and it's really, really interesting how they did that. And that's part of the reason I'm still so interested. And instead of just having nameless lieutenants you're killing, they decided to put actual characters behind it, which I think was a really, really, really good thing to do. But this is something I saw someone put an article out about it, and I kind of thought about it. Anchor, because you played Far Cry 3, right?
Yes, I played Far Cry 3, like everyone else on the planet.
Yeah, well, except for Fame.
And me.
Really?
Does it?
I've never played a Far Cry game.
What the?
Really?
You just all you need to do is just play 3. Actually, now that I think about it, 3 is getting like a remastered version, right?
Yeah,
like later this week.
Yeah, it is.
I don't care.
Like no, you really should play it. Like I like
Really?
that serious. Really.
Yeah, it's like top 5 games of last generation.
Oh, like top 10 games of all time. I think Far Cry 3 is great. It's fun. It actually shows a good evolution of a main character. That's
what I want to talk about though. Is like I feel like they took a step backwards with your character in this game because it's these silent character again. Like your character doesn't speak. In Far Cry 3, you had your character constantly being like, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" And then you saw like a character development. There's no character development in this because you're mute. Basically,
yeah.
Like I feel like they took a step backwards in that regard. But I don't know if Far Cry 4 was like that because I never bothered playing Far Cry.
He talked Far Cry 4, and he talked, but he didn't talk very much. Like you basically walked away from the game, and like okay, the whole dynamic with Far Cry 4 was old versus new, where you had a character who was reconnecting with his roots while trying to put away the ashes of his mother, his dead mother. And it was that was the internal struggle of, do we accept the old ways for what they are and observe them, but at the same time shun not evolution, but shun the advancement of our culture, or do we just go all progress all the way through and abandon everything old? And that was the mentality of Far Cry 4. and it's just an interesting thing to see in this one too, because they kind of, I don't want to say abandon it, but they don't really delve into it either. Like, the main character doesn't have this great moral struggle. At least I haven't seen anything yet.
No.
So, because like, okay, Far Cry 3 is, they call it like Snow White. Is they refer to you as Snow White because you're just you're basically this innocent frat boy, as far as frat boys can be innocent. Going into a world and being completely corrupted and walking out of it being a stronger person, but entirely, basically you matured. At the very beginning, you're very whiny and complainy, and you're annoying. And by the end of it, you are this hardened killer badass. It's really, it's fun to watch and play through, but I don't know. Far Cry 5 doesn't feel like it has very much of that, but I got to get farther into it personally.
Or you can do the Gone Home technique and finish Far Cry 4 in what, 10 minutes?
Oh, it's more than 10 minutes. It's more like 20. If you count the cutscenes at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, that 10 minutes is still worth more than playing Gone Home. So,
Ooh,
That's true.
yeah. All right, Mike, what you been playing? I know you've been playing a little bit of Far Cry.
I've been playing some Far Cry 5. I would say I'm about like 7 to 10 hours into the game. I've really been enjoying it up to this point. Even on I just have a 1080p TV, and it's probably the best looking game I've played on the Xbox One X up to this point. And one of the things that I really like about Far Cry 5 that they have done is I feel like they've trimmed a lot of the fat so you can get to the gameplay easier. So what I mean by that is, one of the things that sticks out is the hunting. The hunting is not like a mandatory thing that you have to do. Like, you have to kill, 5 tigers to make an ammo holster, or you have to kill 3 badgers to make a wallet. You earn all that through perks by just playing the game, which I think is an upgrade in my opinion. But other than that, I've been really enjoying the game. I tried playing Fortnite. I played 2 rounds of solo, uninstalled it, didn't like it. It's trash. I'd rather play PUBG. And I've been playing NBA Live 8.
I think you'll find it's pronounced Poobg.
But other than that,
here's the thing. I'm going to make that joke every week.
Anyway, Poobg is better than Fortnite. I uninstalled that. But other than that, I've been playing NBA Live 18, which I've been really enjoying. 2K18 I was having fun with, but there's a lot of little things in that game that are annoying as far as the gameplay mechanics. So Live 18 was in the EA Access Vault, so I just figured, let me try it out, and I've really been enjoying that. So I've been playing that too. So
it's officially the 3 people. It's just Fame, Kid Smooth, and yourself that play NBA Live now. So there's 3 people that play that game online.
Yeah, basically.
The servers are booming.
They're like, they're posting an update right now. They're like, we've had a 33% player increase this week because Mike played through EA Access.
Yeah, I can't get into that stuff, but. I've been playing Sea of Thieves a lot. It's still a lot of fun. I still like playing Sea of Thieves, especially because now we found out the hustle in the Merchants Alliance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's the big thing.
So my question is about Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Have you only ever played it with other people?
I played it alone too. I play it mixed now.
Does it work alone? Because I've heard people go, if you play it with other people, if you don't play with other people, it's boring.
You got to manage yourself in an entirely different manner if you're playing alone. Like, what I mean by that is, if you're playing in a squad, yeah, you go around, start killing people, doing whatever. Like, it's pretty out there like that. You can just do whatever you want, be crazy, do what you got to do. But the thing with PUBG, what about PUBG? The thing with Sea of Thieves when you're playing alone, you have to manage what your plans are in a very concise manner and realize that you are at a very huge disadvantage. People will beat up on you. People will find a way to screw with you. And like, okay, I was doing a bunch of chest runs for the Gold Hoarders alone, and I realized that when I was doing that, I was trying to come back and turn in my chests. And so I saw another ship at the outpost, but I didn't really have another option. So I was trying to get out so I can go team up with Fame and the rest of the guys. And I tried parking, and I parked my boat on the other side of the island. And I was going to walk it over real slow in the dark and try to do it that way. Instead, what ended up happening is these guys hijacked my ship and killed me. And because your spawn is attached to your ship, I kept spawning and they kept killing me. So, yeah, it was not fun in that regard. But then again, like if you try to do it differently and you try to focus on different types of missions, like doing the Order of Souls without a group of people, where those are mostly like mercenary contracts, like go out and kill these things and return their loot for points or whatever. And when you're playing that, you can't do that alone.
Not the higher
that's
level
rough.
No.
Yeah, like where you like kill like 6 guys. Nah, it's just not happening, dude. It's just not gonna happen.
Have you faced a Kraken yet?
Yes.
Yes. Last
Now
time
we
we
can
played
say
together,
yes.
actually.
Yep.
It was terrifying
Now we
too,
can say
because it happened right as we came out of the storm. So we were getting battered by
Oh my
waves.
god.
We couldn't reach the outpost. We were trying to reach this outpost. We're laden down with treasure, and I think we had some chickens and some other animals as well. We're trying, using up all our wooden planks, patching the holes that the lightning and the waves are putting in.
And
We're
Fame's out here
swamped.
turning off the lights like, I gotta get this achievement.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
And
it's not
Fame's
even
trying to get
nighttime.
this achievement for turning off the lights in a storm. Like, dude, no, this isn't the right time. And we almost make it to the outpost, and then all of a sudden, because usually what happens is you're warned of the Kraken's presence because the water goes dark, because it sprays ink everywhere. But we can't tell that because it's pitch black at night. Well, so our warning is this unearthly roar, and then this tentacle just reaches up out of the water and starts peering over, and then there's 7 other tentacles joining it, and then Fame gets plucked off. It was awesome.
It was
It
terrifying.
was horrifying, but it was awesome.
Because I'm like, shit, man, I need this. I need these chests. I need these chests. It was like, oh man, that was terrifying. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's just when you play alone, you gotta be careful and manage your expectations. But the game is definitely more built for people to being in groups. It really is built more towards that. But I will say, like, I think the community's gotten better. Because like people just attack you on site, but I think a lot of people are getting bored with that now, and so they're not just killing people on site like they used to. And so now it's like, okay, well, we were playing last night. We saw this other group of 2 guys, and we were just like, they're just sitting on the dock. They didn't want to interrupt us from turning in our stuff. They just started dancing, just playing music, and just having a good time. It was like, all right, cool.
They were sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Dude, don't even kid. I believe me, I actually even played that song. We were at Crescent Bay, and I was literally watching the guys pull around the ship. I literally turned that song on. Don't mess with my Otis Redding, dude.
I would constantly be playing the Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack.
Yeah, you do that alone, you'll feel like a badass.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first got the game, when it released, I was on my own little sloop. I was playing that soundtrack on repeat. I'm not gonna lie. And then when I play with other people, I've been kicked out of parties because I'm sitting there humming the theme song to myself the whole time.
I did that when I was playing Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It was just all day, every day.
Yep. Oh man, that game is so much fun too, especially whenever you're trying. Like, if you want to see how stupid people will get, just start playing that whenever you're in a galleon trying to park. People just do really dumb maneuvers. It's just so much fun. But yeah. All right. So I think that kind of wraps up what we've been playing. It took a little while. All right. So first topic for the evening, I want to kind of start with Ready Player One, which came out over the weekend. James, you got to see the movie. I plan to see it this weekend.
Same.
So what's the deal? What's the word?
Very quickly, has anyone else seen it?
Ah!
No, I really wanted to, dude. I really wanted to, but I wasn't able to. I'm going to try and see it sometime this week.
Okay, so has anyone read the book?
I have not.
A long time ago. It's been a while, but I did read the book.
Okay, so brief plot thing. A guy called James Halliday creates the Oasis, which is a virtual reality online game. It just starts out as just a game where you can do whatever you want. It then becomes so big that it just becomes the internet. Instead of saying the internet, people say the Oasis. This guy Halliday dies, leaves an Easter egg somewhere in the Oasis. You have to find 3 keys, and that will take you to the egg. That is the setup. It's The Matrix meets Charlie and the Chocolate Factory meets I don't know, The Vive. I don't know. I've also got a cough right now, so excuse me if I do just start coughing. I loved the book, and I wanted so badly there to be a brilliant film. So I was ready to be the harshest critic. I was ready to be that person going, "Oh, in the book it was better because of this, and they changed it." And then However, within 10 minutes, I'm not even kidding, 10 minutes, maybe even less, I was just sitting in my cinema seat going, and we're there. This is going to be absolutely fine. Because Steven Spielberg knows exactly what he's doing. The tone for this film was so perfect. You know how when you're watching Indiana Jones, and then there's that adventure tone, you know everything is going to be absolutely fine. You're prepared for things to go a bit wrong, but you know everything's going to be fine. That is the exact tone you get while watching Ready Player One. The music by Alan Silvestri, not John Williams, really helps with that. It's so Spielberg, 80s Spielberg adventure film. Think The Goonies, think Back to the Future, think Indiana Jones. Like, it's up there with that caliber film. And I'm deadly serious about that. For people who are worried that it is just, let's see how many references we can name in 2 hours.
So me.
Well, okay, so there are tons of references in the film, yes, but they are not part of the film. There was a lot of thing about when Tracer turned up in the trailer. So that is not Tracer from Overwatch. It is somebody wearing a Tracer skin. So that's what it is. So like, you know, the Iron Giant plays a character in the film. It is not the Iron Giant. It is somebody who has built an Iron Giant in the Oasis. So all of this stuff, it's just people being obsessed with a certain decade and wanting to express their love for that in their avatar. Hence why there's all of these references. You know, it's not the book very much is a case of, I like this person. Here are all the reasons I like it. Here are their films. Here's my ranking of their films. It is reference-a-thon. The film is not that because it can't be. That would be incredibly boring to hear someone talk about how much they love, I don't know, Buckaroo Banzai for 20 minutes. You know? just reference it. Reference it once in passing. That's it. That's all you need. Speaking of changes from the book to screen, so the biggest change from the book to the screen is the way that the challenges to get the keys are done. And I'm not going to go into major spoiler details or any major details at all. But you've all seen the trailer with that race, yeah?
Yeah.
So that is one of the challenges for the keys, and it's right at the beginning of the film. That race is not in the book at all. They've completely added it for the film because the challenges in the book were inherently non-cinematic. Like one of them was to also there were like two. You would have to find where the challenge was. That was one challenge in itself, and then like do it. And so one of them was you had to find Halliday's like childhood bedroom and then say all of Matthew Broderick's lines from War Games, which is a really fun challenge. but really boring in a film. So they changed it and made it a car race. Which, okay, fair enough. It's a big change, and that could be seen as a bad thing. But it works because it's a fun car chase in a film.
So it's a pragmatic adaptation.
Yeah, and they are all over the place. Like there's the core story. What they did to adapt the book is they took the brilliant idea of this virtual world where you can be anything, do anything, look like anyone, sound like anything. And then there's this contest, and like they took those two cornerstones and the characters around them, and they adapted that with minor stuff that is kept in, and minor stuff and more major stuff that they've changed. I think it's a brilliant adaptation. Ernest Cline, who wrote the book, also helped write the screenplay, so he's very much involved, and I think that really helped, and it shows in certain parts. In terms of how you should watch the film, I think if you don't watch it in 3D, you're missing out. Now, I hate 3D. I work in a cinema, and when people say I want to go see this film in 3D, I tell them when the 2D showings are, because I don't like 3D. But I'm telling you, you have to watch it in 3D. If for the one scene, the second challenge for the second key, I'm not going to say what the scene is. It involves a horror film. And if you've been on Twitter, you might know what horror film I'm talking about. Again, not going to say what it is, but for that sequence alone, it's worth it to watch it in 3D. And then the rest of it, because the vast majority of the film takes place within the Oasis, which is completely 3D animated and motion capture.
Yeah.
And this is quite a big departure for Spielberg to do a massively motion capture film. He had, not since Tintin, which in 2011,
which was also excellent.
Yeah, Tintin is an underrated film, and he took what he learned there, has applied it here with more time and experience and different actors and a different core story. And I think the motion capture stuff here is brilliant. What else? Have you guys got any questions that I can answer about the film?
I mean, I don't have anything too much because
How's the
I
pacing?
don't want to.
Because it's a long film, right?
How's the pacing?
Yeah.
Great. It's really good. It is over 2 hours. It doesn't feel it. Breezes by. Because you've got that because you've got one thing. There's no side plots at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's sort of like hints of a B plot, but it's all to serve the greater purpose of, gotta find the Easter egg. Parsifal's our guy. Also, the performances are really good. Ty Sheridan, I know the name. I know he's been in other stuff, but I couldn't name anything offhand. He's the guy who plays the lead, Parzival. That's his avatar name. His real name is Wade Watts because his dad wanted him to be a superhero, and he is. That's cool. The female lead is a girl called Olivia Cook, who I like very much because she was in a film called Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl a couple of years ago, and I loved that film. She's also in Bates Motel, if anybody watches that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's English and she's great in this. The guy who plays Nolan Sorrento, who's the bad guy, is played by Ben Mendelsohn, who's an Australian actor. He played director Krennic in Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
And he's like, sorry?
No, it was a bad joke. Keep going.
Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn is in a bunch of different films, and he's always plays bad guys, and he plays them really well. And he's like in this film is the first time he's done like a kids film bad guy. So even though he is like evil and bad, every time he does something, he always does like will punctuate what he's doing with something stupid, and the music will go ba-da-da. So, and it's just I really loved it. I was ready to applaud when it finished. I genuinely think this is like a genuinely brilliant film. If you like video games, if you don't, I took my dad, who hates video games, can't stand them, to watch it yesterday, and he really got into it. So Ready Player One for me, I'm saying it, 10 out of 10.
Wow, 10 out of 10.
All right, I'll make it a priority to go see it then.
In 3D, if you can, 3D IMAX, like it deserves it.
All right. That's pretty high praise. So, all right, we got to get some topics in here. About 30 minutes doing this. All right, so first up on our discussion list, other than that, let's talk about some of these games over the last week that have been announced to come to Xbox. There have been quite a few, and they're all coming out all at once. Actually, Sam, or actually, no, Nick, you wrote an article about this, right? What are some of the games that are coming over that, well, this year to Xbox that have not come out before?
Well, we've got Crash Bandicoots coming to Xbox, Hellblade's coming to Xbox. There's a third one. Sam, what was the third one?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Oh, God, why did I forget about that one? That one's such an important
Because everyone forgot about it. Come on, you just handed me that joke on a golden platter. Come on. Work harder.
Yeah, so, those three games are coming to Xbox in the next, Hellblade is in just over a week. Yeah,
9
next
days.
week. Next week on a Wednesday. No Man's Sky sometime in the summer, and Crash Bandicoot is... God, where was that landing?
That's June sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's either May or June. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see those games come across. There's no reason they shouldn't come across eventually, but yeah, it's cool to give people a wide variety of different games they can try out. That's for sure. 3 very different games.
Yeah.
July.
I'm actually...
Crash Bandicoot's coming to all the other non-PlayStation platforms in July.
Yeah, it's 1 year later.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Out of the group of it, like, I know I'll go play Hellblade because I know Mike picked it up,
Yes.
and I know I'm probably going to end up playing No Man's Sky, just to see it. Like, because apparently, I gotta say, thanks for beta testing, because that's apparently what it was, and not just I'm being snarky, but apparently that really was what the situation was, because the whole thing was apparently a giant beta test anyway. So,
what happened with No Man's Sky is that Sony really, really wanted that game to come out, and then they pushed it, and it came out too early, and it came out unfinished. I wouldn't call it a beta test, but it just was. Sony don't have an early access platform. Microsoft do, and Steam do. And Sony don't, and they just wanted it out, and the public wanted it as well, but they didn't realize what they were getting. Yeah. However, now it really is a vastly different and superior game to the one that came out at launch.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, and that's why I'm going to pick it up. I feel like I give it a shot.
Well,
I'm just curious how much they're charging for it.
It's $50.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad, depending upon what's in this next update that they were talking about and what that's going to entail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying it's going to be pretty comprehensive. They're calling it an expansion, almost, not even an update. So, I mean, considering how much free stuff they've added to the game already, I'd say that Hello Games has done right by players, even if the things surrounding its launch, and maybe they shouldn't have said that it had multiplayer, even though it really didn't. But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep an eye on it. But, I mean, frankly, my palette is just way, way too busy right now to give it top priority. That's just the fact of the matter. But I'll keep an eye on it for sure.
Yeah, the next update has to be at least the 4th or 5th major update that Hello Games have done for the game. They really, really have been supporting it.
Yeah.
There we go. That's more expansions than The Witcher had.
Okay.
Don't.
You do not put The Witcher
Okay. Now, wait. I am not for a minute saying that No Man's Sky is as good as The Witcher 3.
Okay.
Blood and Wine could have been sold as its own game, and it would have been fair. So,
is a fact.
It was.
Yeah. Well. So, I'm gonna play Hellblade. I'm gonna play No Man's Sky eventually. I might wait for that price drop. I don't know. Sean Murray's got to do something.
Yeah, I mean, because I played No Man's Sky back in September when it first came out at launch, and I mean, at first you do kind of get into it a little bit, but by the time I got to the third galaxy, I'm like, all right, now I'm bored because I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. I'm harvesting so I could travel to go to another galaxy, so I could harvest some more and travel again. But like I was going to say, just like how Nick alluded to, they've done a lot of updates over the lifespan of the game. So I'm interested in going back to that eventually to see what the game is like now.
I would highly recommend, as someone that played No Man's Sky extensively and I've watched the content updates come out, unless this update that comes out drops a ton of stuff, if it releases on Xbox for 60, which I believe it is, wait.
Yeah.
I still don't think, even with its current content state, I still don't believe it's a $60 game. I definitely say take a wait and see. Apparently this update's huge, but they haven't detailed anything. So when the update details come out, then it should be more interesting to see what kind of content they have, because it's legitimately, I kind of classify No Man's Sky in the same kind of state. It was in a worse state than Sea of Thieves is, but it was one of those things where if they added the content down the road, they had a really good base for a really good game. It's just, it took them a long time because it's a really small studio and everything else. So it still has potential to be a really good game. Just watch your wallets with it, basically.
Are these games now? Were these games timed exclusive deals, or with Sony, or were these games that the developer just chose not to put on Xbox right away?
Okay, so
sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Oh no, if you want to tackle it, Sam, because you're probably gonna say the same thing I am. So
I was just gonna say, Crash was absolutely a deal because Sony had a hand in the original game, so there were some complicated licensing issues since Naughty Dog made the first 3 games, but Activision now holds the IP rights, so they got a 1-year deal. The same thing is almost certainly going to happen with the Spyro Trilogy remaster. That's all but confirmed. That's fair.
Right.
Hellblade was not a case of them shunning Xbox. It was just, hey, we have a really small budget and a really small team, so we're going to target the 2 largest platforms first, break even, and then we'll go back and hit the others.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that No Man's Sky was a publishing deal.
Yeah, No Man's Sky was a publishing deal. Yep.
Yeah, where they said, we'll put the cost of some of the development
and marketing. Sony
yeah.
also marketed the ever-loving bejesus out of it.
Because God knows there was no way in hell Sean Murray was going to on the Colbert Show without some help.
Oh yeah, that did happen. That was crazy.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that No Man's Sky was supposed to be a big new IP for Sony back then, but that
yeah. I don't know about that.
Backfired.
I think I'm noticing a trend here. Like every game that's propped up by a console manufacturer or a platform like that, like every indie game has not come out the way anyone actually intended, or done what it needed to do.
Well, see, I think the problem, and like this is just guessing, obviously, but yeah. I think a lot of smaller studios that end up making some of these exclusive titles. I'm not talking like big companies. I'm talking like Hello Games is fairly small. I think it's like 20 people. Or it was a very small studio. Less. I was gonna say it's like under 20. It's like what, 10 to 12 or somewhere in that range. It's a really, really small studio. It's gotta be overwhelming to be a developer of that size, and then a big publisher like Microsoft or Sony comes in and then just drops money in your lap and goes, "This is what we want you to do it." And so they're like, okay, and they may have the financial resources, but they may not have the people resources to make all of that happen. I think if they had wanted No Man's Sky to honestly be what they wanted it to be, Hello Games would need to add at least 20, 30 more people to achieve everything they wanted to do. I think Sean Murray oversold his game. Did he lie? Technically, yes. But I don't think the game launched in the state that he originally wanted it to, because it's pretty much common knowledge now that Sony pushed No Man's Sky out the door, even though they weren't happy with the game as it stood, but they wanted to get it out.
Yeah,
So-
well, the hype around that thing blew up in a ridiculous way. So.
And
It really did because it had already been delayed how many times before it finally came out, right?
Well, that was the big thing with No Man's Skies because they delayed the last time they delayed it. I'm not sure if everyone remembers. The internet basically melted down, and people are making death threats to Sean Murray and everything else. Like that was a whole thing where people are like, "This is going to be the best game ever." This was supposed to be the game of the generation because it was a technical, visual, and it was going to be apparently a gameplay masterpiece of a whole bunch of things we'd never seen before. So it was definitely oversold. I still think they can bring it back. They've been doing a fantastic job of just, here's another update, here's another update, here's more stuff added, and it's all free content updates for the people that bought the game. So it's fantastic that they haven't been like, hey, here's a DLC that adds some stuff. They've been giving it as free content. They don't have to do that, but I feel they feel somewhat obligated to do that. Otherwise, it's been handled really well post-launch is what I'm saying. And I commend them for that because they technically don't have to be like that, but it's very smart of them to be like that.
Right.
I hope that people do support these games on Xbox, though. I really do. Because I think that would show developers and publishers that there is a market for games like Hellblade and like No Man's Sky on Xbox. You know, going back to last year, one of the things that everybody was talking about was variety on the Xbox platform. And if Xbox gamers support these games, it's going to show these developers and publishers that, yeah, we do want these types of games.
Now, the question becomes, what's the next game that released on PlayStation as a quote-unquote console exclusive that's going to come next? I'm really interested to see if Nier Automata does not make its way to Xbox at some point.
I would not be surprised.
Nier Automata
Not
or
right.
Neo, either one.
If you listen to some people, Horizon Zero Dawn is going to come to Xbox.
Oh my
No
god!
way.
Oh my god!
No, I heard from a very reliable source that God of War is coming out next month to Xbox. It's only a month exclusive.
You know what game needs to come to Xbox? I'm going to shed a tear.
The Last of Us.
Shenmue 3.
Oh my god!
I can tell
I
you
legitimately
that game's already
got
coming.
into I legitimately
comes,
got
though.
into an argument with someone on Twitter today because they're like, it doesn't matter what releases this year because Shenmue 3 is going to be the best game of this generation and it's coming this year. I'm like,
It is.
There is so much to unpack in that sentence, it's not even funny.
Maybe it'll be the best game in next generation.
Yeah.
they'll have
Maybe
the
the
same
generation
release
after
date
that.
as Shenmue 3 and Death Stranding will launch PS6. I guarantee it.
Does anybody remember the E3 of Dreams? Has any game come out since then? Like when we had the Last Guardian, that was it.
Last Guardian came out. Shenmue
Horizon?
3 is supposedly still coming out this year, but I don't know. I mean, I really doubt it. I think that's a 2019
No,
title.
the E3 of Dreams was Last
2015.
Guardian actually existing.
Yep. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Shenmue 3.
Yeah, and two
And
of those
Horizon. It was
don't
the announcement
exist
of
yet.
Horizon.
Well, Horizon was announced
It was the-
beforehand, though. I was pretty sure.
No, it wasn't. That was the but that was like that was the announcement. I swear it was.
Was it though?
2015, right?
I think James is right about this, actually. I'm
remember.
trying to remember, but honestly,
Yeah,
I
because
think that is
the
when
hype
Horizon
cycle for
Zero Dawn
Horizon
was-
Zero Dawn was very, very short. They announced it in 2015. They gave you the full trailer in 2016, and then released 2017.
early
Yeah,
2017.
because I remember
Well,
Yeah.
we say short, at least in terms of how console manufacturers like to do.
no, I
Short
know
might-
it was because a couple months after E3 2015, I tested what they had of Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You told me this that.
where I was famously very wrong about what the game was.
Yeah, I still remember that. I was like, oh,
Yeah, me
okay.
too.
So,
Very quickly, while someone meant as of 2016, Hello Games had 16 employees.
Wow.
yeah.
So that number could have gone up in the last 2 years. It probably has. if you're talking about delays, I just want to quickly talk about the New Mutants, the X-Men horror film that they're making.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a horror
You guys hear
movie.
about this?
Yes,
I have not heard
Yeah.
of it.
Well, I remember hearing about it, and then like the marketing dropped off the face of the earth, and I didn't hear anything else
So
about it.
okay, so here's what happened. So they released a teaser months ago
Right.
with Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, Anya Taylor-Joy from The Witch and Split, a couple other people, and it looked like, okay, this is something interesting. This is different from the X-Men universe, tone-wise, I mean. And then nothing. And then we hear that it's the release date had been pushed back 5 months because they wanted to add a new character and flesh out some others. My response to that was, fair enough. I want a cool horror film. And so it was supposed to come out in 3 weeks from now.
Oh wow.
2 weeks ago, it was pushed back to the end of 2019.
What the heck?
Yeah,
Wow.
and
That doesn't sound
I've never seen a film be delayed this way. It happens to games all the time
Right.
because that's
Development is
it's
different.
expected in this industry. I've never seen anything like this with a film.
That's
So
insane.
I just thought I'd quickly mention that.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were making it a horror movie.
Well, I don't think
Of
it's going to be
course,
like
I don't really remember.
full-on horror.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't remember much about New Mutants, honestly, as a team.
I know nothing
It's one
other
of-
than this trailer because it's one of those trailers. It's got a slow children's choir version of a rock song. It's got Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd.
Oh, am I not surprised?
Like kids going, "We don't need no education," and then like hands like coming through a wall, like in Nightmare on Elm Street. Check out
Yeah.
the trailer; it's really good.
That sounds pretty legit. Because if I remember correctly about New Mutants, I really don't. X-Men are not my forte. But if I remember correctly, they were a renegade group. Like they wanted nothing to do with Xavier and the rest of it. But that's based on what I remember, at least. But yeah, so
Anyway,
what else we had? Oh yeah, we need to discuss about the most important thing
Oh
that
no.
has ever happened. The white
Well,
glove.
this was
Adam
episode
has.
90 of the Multiverse show. Hope everyone had a great time.
No, the white glove conspiracy must be exposed.
What's this?
Wait, what is this?
InfoWars? Jesus.
No, the white glove conspiracy, man. You don't understand, dude.
is this the
All right.
thing about why some cartoon characters wear gloves and some don't?
No, you're getting close though. All right, so there was the announcement that Inside Xbox is going to have an event on the 10th of April, and they are going to be learning from what people have suggested from the past few, from the last one here. Now, the only thing about it, that last time it was a joke, was Major Nelson got basically just made fun of for having what's the best way to put it? These white gloves, and it was really, really funny. Honestly, it was really funny. Where he was basically just kind of he was showing off like a solid gold Xbox, and he was just killing it. It was so funny, and he was showing around. Like, and he had these white gloves on it. Everybody was just making fun of it. Everybody was laughing at it. And it was really funny. But you know who else wears white gloves? Mario. So the theory begins. What if Microsoft is secretly hinting at these Inside Xbox events that Mario will be coming to Xbox?
Oh my god.
And I will predict in the next episode, they will have someone on wearing red.
Oh my god! All right.
So what you're saying is you had a very strong premonition about this.
And not just that, they're going to have someone on the show whose name starts with M.
Okay. Well, if you want to look at that criteria, you know who else wears white gloves and whose name starts with M? Mickey Mouse. Microsoft is buying Disney, confirmed.
A scandal. And that means that the Spider-Man game can't be exclusive. It was true all along.
Okay, so it's just so everyone who's watching this podcast is aware. You can go to the TickGN website now, and after this podcast shuts off, we will have a Tick store, and you can buy officially licensed Anchorman and Mike P. the Truth tinfoil hats, which are officially licensed for these conspiracy theory talks.
It's the white glove conspiracy, and you know who else wears? You know who else wears gloves? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
They're buying Sega. It's confirmed.
Look. Right. Okay. Right. Listen to me. You know who else would know? I'm not doing one.
Come on. Oh wait, you started it. Who else?
Okay, you know who else wears white gloves? I don't know, cleaners. Are they buying all cleaners so everyone's going to be dirty except Microsoft?
It's all true. It's all true.
Okay, right. Do you know the reason? Legitimately, do you know the reason why cartoon characters wear gloves?
Because it's only about animating joints. It was a pain.
No, nothing about that. It's because the original cartoons were basically minstrel shows.
Huh.
Yeah, that is true, but I was thinking more about the independent factor.
I always, as a kid, I always wondered. I'm sitting there going, "Does Mickey Mouse have screwed up hands? Like, what kind of crime against humanity are behind those gloves?"
No, it was just inspired by minstrel shows of people wearing blackface and wearing gloves.
Well, there you go.
Bringing a bit of history to this insanity.
The more you know.
Yeah. The more you know. All right. So anything else we would talk about before we start wrapping things up here?
Anyone else got some great conspiracy theories?
Not a conspiracy theory, but a quick shout out. Today is the 50th anniversary of 2001: A Space Odyssey, arguably one of the greatest films ever made, and my personal favorite film. So if in the town or a city near you there is a showing of that film on a cinema, I urge you, go to see it. It is one of the most singular cinematic experiences that you can ever see. It deserves your time, and it's older than most things you like, including Obama.
Not my stuff. Not the music I like. Music I like is from the 20s.
Yeah, Anchor's I haven't liked any music that's come out in the past 96 years as he swirls his martini glass.
I think you'll find that the most famous musical sequences in this film involve music by Johann Strauss, Richard Strauss, which is from the 1920s and the 1910s as well.
Yep. All right. So I think that wraps things up here.
Done you, mate.
That's the Multiverse Show, folks, bringing you gaming news, gaming discussion, conspiracy theories, and history.
Yep. That's why we're here. So, all right, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you guys for turning out. Really do appreciate you guys showing up in the chat as usual. Again, everybody, thank you for showing up. I'll do some of our outros when we get out of here. Let's start with Sam. Where can the good people find you at?
So you can find me on Twitter at Samuel Tolbert, where I'll be happy to talk about games, movies, TV shows, tech, anything of the sort. And you can also find me writing news, reviews, opinion pieces, pretty much anything on ticgn.com.
All right, Nick.
You can find me on Twitter at Undead3XVI, YouTube, same thing. You can also find me writing news and opinion pieces on tickgn.com, and that's where everyone should be getting your news every day because we've done a really great job of covering it all.
Mike?
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in for another great episode of the Multiverse Show. We really appreciate your guys' support as we make that run to 100 episodes. You could find me on Twitter and pretty much every platform at Mike P. The Truth.
And James?
In the words of someone who has a very similar name, I'm James Sterling Wilson. Thank God for me, and see you next week.
All right. And I'm Anchorman V2. You guys can find me on pretty much everything under Anchorman V2. And thank you guys for showing up to episode 90 of the Multiverse Show, the greatest show on Mondays. We're out of here.